Well, the latest restriction that has been set on our liberties that's something else. I'm not Christian, so it doesn't affect me. In fact, I'm a witch. And I would probably be one of the first people to be really happy for Christianity to disappear, but not like this. I would like it to, go away when there's wisdom, go away when there's intelligence enough, go away when people come to understanding and love within themselves and understand the messages of Christ, or the one that is called Christ. That wasn't his name. But what's happening is absolutely wrong. And I can't imagine right now, if I were Christian, how I would be feeling. And I think that's the most important thing that all of us need to think about right now. Because the one part of the book that isn't horrific, well, I mean, it is horrific because they're killing a guy, but the one part that is the basis of the faith, for that to be made illegal, to be told that is hate speech, I can't imagine how you're feeling, and I'm very sorry. I am very, very sorry. You have every right to your faith. And now my reasons for not liking Christianity are many. I was very severely abused. But that has nothing to do with what is happening. And you have every right to your faith, and you have every right to the truth of that faith. And in the Bible, it basically states that the Old Testament is gone, and once Jesus came, and especially after his death, when he was on the cross and the veil was rent, remember that. And it said that we're to come now before God ourselves. There is no veil. There is no priest that's going into a holy place for us to speak to God for us. All of these, I know the Bible very, very well. I read it when I was 4 and 5 years old, and I had a lot of questions then. I've always been a witch. I've always known I was a witch. In fact, when I read the Bible and I read about how Christianity views witches, I knew who I was as a child and what I was in relationship to these things. And it's not that I don't like the one that you guys call Christ either. He said, and remember this, because I think this is, what? That's what I'm going to do. I'm a witch, but I am going to give you a Bible lesson right now while your faith is it's not questioned. Your faith was just made illegal. Jesus walked on water. And when somebody was going to join him, that person looked everywhere else but there and began to sink. So this is your turn, your time. You've got to step out on that water, and you have to have that faith. You've got to have that faith. This is what he's talking about. Those are parables. Those are parables about these kind of things, and you have to have that faith. I know that it's hard to. I know that sometimes I cannot. My sons and I have been through some really weird things. And I have had some of the strangest abuses in my life. I've had the usuals, and then I've had a couple that are like a little out there. You could make a movie. So stick with your faith, because when you love one another, your joy will be full. And don't look to the storm. Look to the truth that you have inside of your heart. And the person, the one that you call Christ, he said, these things and greater shall you do also. These things and greater. So here we are in that time. This is the time where your faith is absolutely needed. This is the time where I'm calling on all Christians to hold their faith. Even though, no, I'm not part of your faith, and I absolutely do not like the Bible. But the one that you call Christ, I absolutely love. I know that that's very hard for Christians sometimes to understand. But that is somebody who was my imaginary friend as a child, because I didn't understand other human beings. In fact, being autistic with selective mutism, I very rarely speak to people at all. And it's because you guys have a lot of fractures within. You don't have yourself. A lot of times you have stories, and you have things that have attached themselves after you've been born. And everything that you have has come by invitation. You know, whether it was something, it's by invitation because it's been there so long, because like maybe it started in childhood and then you grew up and it just, you know, stayed with you or whatever. So this is the time for what, I don't, you know, all the humans, all the decent humans, you know, whether you're a witch, Muslim, Jew, Christian, just be human. And let's take care of each other. Let's look out for each other. There's a lot of hate going on, and well, the spell's broken, I guess. I don't know what to say other than that. Some spell has been broken, and the youth are rising up. They're not going to back down. It's time for change. The old guard, the old reptilian, angry, greedy, selfish, resource hoarding, hogging days are probably over and gone. And we're going to see a little bit of a transitional shit show. But if we all take care of each other and we all look out for each other, then they can go through their shit show and we can all look out for each other. Because they're not going to look out for each other. They're not. But we can take care of each other. Decent, normal human beings have always been able to take care of each other. Look at us across this globe right now. What you have to do is look across the globe right now to know that there are just so many more decent people out there than I think any of us really even realize. I've always stood for Palestine since I was a child. And to see everybody rise up now, it almost seems like a dream. So as bad as things seem, and as bad as they seem to be getting and going, you guys are making a huge difference. It's never happened like this before. Keep going. Keep being strong. Let's all pull together. I don't care what you believe, as long as you're a decent person to me, you know, and to other people. I'm not just to me, but like, we all came here and we're all experiencing our own journeys. And you know, my relationship with belief systems, I've studied them because I needed to understand why. I don't participate. But we can take care of each other. We can take care. There's no reason to not take care of each other. I don't like video games. My son loves to play video games. Don't like them. But what does that have to do with everything else? And I know that you guys, you can go back to, oh, it's faith in your soul and all this. What do all faiths come down to? Who is the ultimate judge of anyone? Life. God, whatever, universe, source, whatever you call it, that is the ultimate. We aren't. We're imperfect down here just trying to figure things out. We know that. And I think that some of the most imperfect ones right now are the ones that are leading shit. So, you know, we can take care of each other. Please, if you know somebody who is Christian, this would be a good time to maybe reach out and let them know that you've got their back. I say this while I'm also simultaneously fighting some, but these are some really nasty ones.